Uncle, why is the road so jammed ahead? I have no idea. It looks like there was a fatal traffic accident. Oh no, that's terrible. How did it happen? Probably those reckless teenagers from around here. They don't study or work. They get some money from their parents, buy modified bikes, and hang out all day at the coffee shop at the end of the village. After coffee and cigarettes, they race each other to see who reaches the finish line first, day or night. Sometimes, when we hear the deafening roar of their modified exhausts, we're scared out of our wits and quickly pull over. Just now, in broad daylight, 5 or 6 of them lined up, revved their engines, and sped off. At the bend near the market, one of them lost control and crashed straight into an oncoming tractor. His body was flung out, his limbs twisted and broken. He wasn't wearing a helmet, so his skull was crushed, killing him instantly, his face mangled beyond recognition. The police have cordoned off the scene for investigation. This road is already too narrow, and with curious onlookers blocking the way, it's completely congested. If you're driving a car, you'll have to wait. If you're in a hurry, you might have to find another route. Yes, I'll wait then. It's not too urgent, Ethan said to the passerby, then rolled up his car window. Looking back, he saw Lynn, his wife, holding their son, little Tim. Just wait a bit, Mom and little Tim, Daddy will play some music for you. Oh, stop with the music, honey. Can't you find another way? Who knows how long this will take? How can I? There's no other way. This is the only road to Dong Village that a car can use. You insisted on driving this year instead of taking a motorbike like usual, so we could buy a car and make my parents proud. But it's hundreds of kilometers, and my butt would be sore and I'd be grumpy every year. All right then, you two will just have to wait a bit longer. Is Timmy quiet? Is he asleep? He's been asleep since the toll booth. It helps when he sleeps like this. Normally, he cries and fusses like he's in pain. Lynn reached out and opened the music playlist on the car's control screen, looking at the congested road ahead, and quietly hummed along. Today, Ethan was taking his wife and son back to his hometown for a visit, as both he and Lynn had over a week off from work. Ethan and Lynn had been married for over 5 years, both working at an IT company. In their second year of marriage, little Tim was born. The boy was quite a handful. He was about to start kindergarten. Normally, the little boy's mouth was always chattering, telling all sorts of stories. A little more about Ethan's family. He was from Dong Village, raised under the rather strict but complete upbringing of Grandpa Bin. His father was a high school principal, and his mother, Grandma Deem, worked for the local women's union. He also had an older sister named Jenny, but sadly, she married and lived far away in the south. Occasionally, every 2 or 3 years, she'd return home with her husband for Tet. After nearly 20 minutes, the road finally cleared. Ethan reached out, turned off the music, and whispered, "We can go now. Let's get little Tim to his grandparents." The car slowly started to move, following the winding road. After a short distance, Ethan saw the scene of the accident. There were still many curious onlookers standing on both sides of the road, pointing and talking. Indeed, as that uncle said earlier, his body was so mangled, there was nothing left of him. Looking closer, Ethan realized they were using a stretcher to carry the unfortunate young man's body onto the ambulance. The body was covered with a sheet, but it couldn't hide everything. An arm dangled out, pointing gruesomely. He heard his wife gasp and looked at the rearview mirror. Lynn had her eyes tightly shut. She must have caught a glimpse of the accident victim's body. Lynn was naturally faint-hearted and terrified of gruesome, bloody sights. After passing the scene by a considerable distance, Ethan laughed. "Lynn, look, how scary. Oh, only now do you dare open your eyes," Ethan teased. Lynn gasped and whined, "Oh, honey, you're teasing me. You know I'm afraid of these things." Their conversation was interrupted by the ringing of a phone. Ethan looked at the screen. "Ah, Mom's calling. She must think it's taking too long. Can you answer for me? I need to focus on driving." "Yes, of course." Lynn reached for her husband's phone and answered. "Hello, Mom, I'm here. Yes, Ethan and I are almost home. Oh no, I'm not carsick. Little Tim is sleeping soundly. He's still not awake. Yes, Mom. All right, I'll hang up now." After the call, Lynn put the phone back. "Mom asked if we've had lunch yet. The whole family is waiting for us to eat. I bet Grandma and Grandpa went shopping and bought all sorts of goodies for us. Every time we come home, I tell you the road is crowded, but you never listen." "Oh well, Mom and Dad love us, so they worry. You know how they are. I wonder if they'll like the gifts we prepared this time, honey. Of course, they will. Grandparents love anything their son and daughter-in-law give them. Besides, these gifts are worth a month's salary. Honey, can you turn up the AC a bit? I've told you so many times it's so sunny outside, but inside the AC is too cold. When little Tim goes outside, he'll get a shock from the temperature change. Ethan frowned at his wife's nagging. Cold? It's set to 28 degrees. Oh, why do I feel so cold? I was actually thinking of lowering it a bit. No, don't lower it, Lynn said, taking her jacket and putting it on. The car slowly rolled along for another half an hour, then they saw the sign for Dong Village. The new rural development plan was slowly taking shape. We're almost there, Timmy. Wake up, little Tim. But little Tim was still fast asleep. Lynn was busy tidying up her belongings and putting them into her handbag. Grandpa Bin and Grandma Deem's house was one of the largest in Dong Village. A large part of its area came from the spacious yard and garden, with a vegetable patch, a fish pond, and even over 100 square meters for a goose pen. Grandpa Bin used netting to enclose it. As they turned the first corner in the village, Ethan spotted his mother, Grandma Deem, standing at the gate, broom in hand, waiting to guide their car into the yard. Once the car was parked, Ethan opened the door and stepped out, followed by little Tim. Hi, Mom. Hi, Grandma. Hi. Oh, good boy, little Tim. Grandma misses you so much. Why are you so skinny? Skinny? No way, Mom. Lynn opened the driver's side door and got out. He just looks like that. He's only gained 3 kilograms since the beginning of the year. Oh, really? My grandson needs to eat a lot to grow big. Where's your dad, Mom? He was just here. I told him you were coming, so while waiting for you, he went and pruned the ornamental plants. Sometimes I think those plants are his real wife. He just needs to put a mosquito net around them to sleep with them. Grandma Deem's half-joking, half-serious comment had just finished when Grandpa Bin stepped out from inside the house. Who are you slandering now, huh? I'm speaking the truth, it's not slander. I thought you were obsessed with those plants outside. No, they're nothing compared to my grandson, little Tim. Is he back? Grandpa Bin said, bending down to pick up little Tim. Oh, my grandson has grown so big. In another year or two, how will I carry you? All right, no more standing outside. Let's go inside, dinner is ready. Lynn, Mom made so much delicious food again today. Yes, Mom. Soon, Grandma Deem and Lynn went into the kitchen. While in the living room, Grandpa Bin took the opportunity to catch up with Ethan about his work and business in the city. Looking at the bubbling pot of soup, Grandma Deem smacked her lips. It smells so good. All that effort going to the market early to buy fresh ingredients was worth it. When you two go back to the city, I'll pack some marinated goods for you to give to your sister's family. Grandma Deem repeated herself when her daughter-in-law didn't respond. Then she realized Lynn was standing still, lost in thought. Lynn, I'm talking to you, dear. What's wrong? I just noticed your face doesn't look so good. I'm fine, Mom. I just feel a little uncomfortable, like I might be getting sick. Oh, that's bad. Go rest inside immediately. After dinner, I'll get you some medicine. I'm fine, Mom. I'm just a little tired. A short nap and I'll be fine. Don't be careless, child. During this epidemic season, it's spreading everywhere. But Mom, these dishes you cooked are so delicious. Every time I come home, I gain weight. It's nothing. I'm old and retired, so I spend all day in the kitchen. I guess my cooking has gotten better without me even realizing it. When I was your age, Ethan's father used to complain about my cooking a lot. Sometimes, if he didn't like it, he and Ethan would go into the kitchen themselves. Lynn forced a smile at Grandma Deem's words. However, the smile wasn't very comfortable, as she felt a growing unease inside her. A little later at the dinner table, Grandpa Bin asked his son and daughter-in-law many questions, but only Ethan answered. Lynn seemed unwell, she just mumbled in response. When Lynn was about to take the plates and bowls down, Grandma Deem immediately stopped her. No, child, don't do that. Go and lie down in your room. Ethan, why are you just standing there when your wife is feeling unwell? Go to the medicine cabinet and get her some medicine. I'm fine, Mom, really. Let me help you. Don't be stubborn, just listen to me, Grandma Deem insisted, and Lynn finally gave in. In truth, she really wanted to rest. After helping her father-in-law bathe little Tim and change his clothes, Lynn returned to her room. This room was always reserved for Ethan and Lynn when they came home. Normally, no one stayed there, but Grandma Deem always kept it meticulously clean and tidy. Lying down on the soft, comfortable bed, Lynn sighed, putting her hand on her forehead. What's wrong with me? I hope I get better soon. It would be terrible to be sick while visiting home during this busy time. Just then, Ethan came in from outside with a glass of water and some pills. Lynn, here's your medicine. Drink this. You'll be fine after a short nap. Lynn took the pills and water, then, somewhat reluctantly, lay down. But what happened next was completely contrary to Lynn's thoughts, because in her feverish state, she saw many chaotic images, and in one of them she saw herself sitting in the car with many people gathered outside. What's happening? Looking through the window, she realized she was back at the scene of the traffic accident. Why am I here? Lynn leaned towards the driver's seat and spoke. Honey, I was about to tell her husband to drive faster when she froze because there was no one there. Ethan, where are you? No one answered. Before she could even panic, Lynn's eyes involuntarily drifted towards the ambulance. And there, medical personnel were covering the unfortunate victim's body with a sheet. But oh no, it was no longer a lifeless body. She saw the young man sit up abruptly, looking straight at Lynn. His broken neck caused his head to loll to one side, and a large wound on his scalp bled profusely, soaking his collar. The most terrifying thing was his eyes, wide open, staring directly at Lynn, and his mouth curved into a smile, as if he hadn't been hurt at all. This was probably the most horrifying sight Lynn had ever witnessed in her life, truly something only seen in horror movies. The scene outside began to descend into chaos. Curious onlookers screamed in terror and fled. Lynn didn't dare stay in the car. She reached out to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. It seemed the car door's lock was jammed. Out of habit, Lynn reached for the dashboard to press the unlock button, but before she could, she froze again, because the terrifying young man was now sitting in the driver's seat with the same smile and intense stare. Lynn had no choice but to scream at the top of her lungs. Her scream not only allowed Lynn to express her fear, but it also helped her wake up. Her eyes wide open, she sat bolt upright, staring blankly at the space in front of her. Very quickly, Ethan appeared from outside. What's wrong, Lynn? Are you all right? Honey, I'm so scared. Something. I saw. But after recounting her dream, Lynn only received a burst of laughter from her husband. My goodness, you're so faint-hearted. It was just a dream. No, I dreamt it, but it felt so real, honey. How can it be? Listen to me, I think you're tired, plus seeing that accident on the road, that's why you're having nightmares. The important thing now is, how are you feeling? Still tired. I'm fine. What time is it, honey? It's 4 p.m. I was going to wake you up earlier, but Mom said to let you sleep a bit longer. Grandma and Grandpa just took little Tim to Auntie Mew's house and will be back later. Let me wake up and help Mom prepare dinner. No need. Later, they'll pass by the market and buy some pre-made food. Mom also said if you're not feeling well, she'll cook you some porridge. I'm fine. I don't want porridge, honey. Don't cook it. Ethan nodded, then lay down next to her, embracing his wife. No one's home. Should we take advantage of this time to have some fun, my dear? No, I'm really tired, honey. Let's not. I have to admit, the air in the countryside is clean, but in the city, it's so noisy and dusty. When you're feeling better, I'll take you for a walk around the village, okay? Yes. Just then, Ethan vaguely heard a voice calling from outside, so he sat up. Who could that be? He stepped out onto the porch and recognized the person. Oh, Ethan, my boy, you're back. I saw your car parked in the yard. Is your mother home, dear? I just came back from the pagoda. It's almost the full moon. Mom's gone out. She should be back soon. How are you doing, Auntie Mew? Still healthy? Oh, it's all right. My legs and feet occasionally ache. It's quite uncomfortable. It's just old age. This time, did you come back with Lynn and the kids? Yes, Lynn is resting inside. Little Tim went out to play with Grandma and Grandpa. Oh, my question was redundant, wasn't it? How could you not bring your wife and kids home? This is little Tim. Every time I talk or visit with your parents, they always mention Lynn and the little boy and wonder when Jenny, your sister, will come back. It's been so long, I haven't seen her. She's very busy with family and work now, so who knows? We just hope she'll come home for Tet this year. That would be wonderful. Oh, her husband's work. Don't you really know, or are you joking? What do you mean, Auntie Mew? I don't understand. My goodness, that Jenny of yours, she divorced her husband 2 months ago. Her work, my dear. Auntie Mule, is that true? Why would I lie, but how do you know? Your mother told me. Who else? Didn't she tell you? No, I didn't know. Just then, a motorbike approached from behind and stopped right in front of the gate. On it were Grandpa Bin and Grandma Deem with little Tim. We're back now. Timmy has grown so much. Did you just come to visit? Grandma Deem stepped down from the back of the bike, smiling. Ethan waited for this moment and immediately asked his mother about Jenny's situation. At this question, the smile on Grandma Deem's lips quickly vanished, and she turned to her friend. I understand, Auntie Mew. I told you not to tell anyone about this. Well, I thought you only told me not to tell outsiders. I didn't know Ethan didn't know. I'm sorry. Oh, it's too late. No need for apologies. Ethan, go inside. I'll tell you later. A little later, after Auntie Mew had left, everyone gathered in the living room, including Lynn, who had come out of her room. She sat down, looking directly at her mother-in-law. Mom, what exactly happened? Please tell me, don't hide anything. Let me tell you, child. Jenny divorced her husband 3 months ago. Your father and I were having dinner one evening when Jenny called. I answered, but I couldn't hear what she was saying, only muffled sobs. I thought the phone signal was bad, so I hung up and called back. It was only on the 3rd try that she answered. She said she was standing outside in the heavy rain and trying to commit suicide. She apologized to your father and me, saying she was an unfilial daughter. My goodness, when I heard that, I trembled all over. At that moment, your father grabbed the phone and talked to her, trying to make her understand. After much persuasion, she finally revealed that her husband was having an affair. When she found out, he not only wasn't scared but loudly kicked her out of the house. She has 2 children, both kept by her in-laws' family. All their house and land are under her in-laws' names, so she has nothing. But she's sure they'll influence the court to win custody of the 2 children because Jenny's job isn't stable. She usually only works part-time, mostly staying home to cook and pick up the kids from school. So how can she afford to raise them? Late that night, your father and I told her to stay at a motel nearby until morning to decide. She reluctantly agreed. But that night, I couldn't sleep peacefully. Every half hour, I'd call to make sure she was safe. The next morning, your father and I immediately took a bus, bought tickets, and flew down there. The meeting didn't resolve anything. Jenny's husband was incredibly disrespectful. He even said that neither of the children was allowed to see their mother. If she agreed, he would give Jenny a small sum of money as capital. But you know, our family, though not wealthy, has never had to humble ourselves for such money. Your father was very firm. We even had to call the police, and that family finally started to back down. After that conversation, your father contacted his lawyer friends for help. Since then, Jenny has stayed there, partly to find a job to prove her financial income, and partly because she's afraid that if she comes back here before the official court hearing, her in-laws will take the children somewhere else. Grandma Deem sighed as she finished. That's how it is, dear. My goodness, Mom, why didn't you tell me? What good would telling you do? Grandpa Bin interjected. Just let Jenny figure things out. I've already said it since the day she introduced that guy. I said it's too far to be a daughter-in-law. If things don't go smoothly, she'll suffer a lot. But she wouldn't listen. She insisted on marrying him no matter what. You know, how many times has she visited this house in the nearly 10 years since she got married? Your mother and I have tried our best. Your mother wanted to tell you and Ethan, but I thought telling you now wouldn't solve anything. Just let the court do its work. If Jenny can get custody of one of the children, she'll come back here. That's when you and Ethan can help her if you want. Lynn, who had been listening silently, gently stroked her husband's arm. Calm down, honey. Mom and Dad's decision is reasonable. I don't think this matter is that complicated. Jenny's children are not little anymore. The older one is 10, and if I'm not mistaken, the younger one is 7. Surely one of them will choose to side with Jenny. Ethan sighed, then stood up, took his phone from his pocket, and scrolled through his contacts for his sister's name. A little later that evening, dinner was served. Grandma Deem hadn't cooked anything herself that night. She bought several ready-made dishes and a hot pot of seafood. Normally, this would have been a delicious dinner, filled with laughter and cheerful conversation. However, because of Jenny's situation, the atmosphere was somewhat subdued. Grandma Deem meticulously picked out shrimp and peeled them for her grandson, little Tim. Then, suddenly, Lynn, after taking a sip of the hot pot broth, quickly put her bowl down and ran to the back of the house. Oh, what's wrong with Lynn? Grandma Deem asked vaguely, then heard sounds as if her daughter-in-law was vomiting in the bathroom. Grandpa Bin and Ethan were just as worried. When Lynn returned to the living room, Ethan immediately asked, "What's wrong, Lynn?" Lynn's face was ashen. She rubbed her chest and quickly replied, "I don't know, I suddenly feel so nauseous." "This isn't good. Ethan, after dinner, you must take Lynn to the city for a checkup, my boy." "No, I'm not going. I think I just ate too much at lunch and went to bed too early, so it's not digesting well." "Child, don't be so careless. If you're not well, you should go see a doctor immediately." "I really am fine," Lynn insisted, then sat down and continued her meal. However, if one looked closely, her forced smile seemed to be an attempt to appear normal. After dinner, Grandma Deem didn't let her daughter-in-law help with the cleanup. Ethan even went to the convenience store to buy his wife a can of soda. "Drink this, it helps with digestion. Whenever you feel like this, you should drink this. You'll feel better after a few sips and a short walk." But Lynn shook her head. "I won't drink it." "Why not?" "Because I don't think it's food poisoning." "If it's not food poisoning, then what is it? Could you be pregnant? Are we going to have another baby?" "What? No. Do you remember what I told you this afternoon, honey?" "What about?" "About my dream. I really don't think it was just a dream, honey. And when I brought dinner into the living room earlier, I subconsciously looked outside and vaguely saw a shadow of a person standing there. And that shadow didn't look like the young man from the accident. It's happening again." "No, honey, there's more. The reason I vomited was because when I sipped the hot pot broth, I smelled a fishy odor like blood." Before his wife could finish her sentence, Ethan immediately cut her off. "Lynn, you're too scared. How can you think of such a preposterous thing? Now, listen to me, drink this can of soda. And at the same time, get rid of those ridiculous thoughts. We have Mom and Dad here and little Tim. What if he overhears? I don't want him to pick up on it." Although Lynn wanted to say more, she could only sigh. Reluctantly, she picked up the can of soda, took a sip, then handed it back to her husband with a frown. "My goodness, this drink is so sweet. It's cold, but it still makes my throat burn." "Oh, of course it's sweet. It would only be a problem if it tasted sour or bitter. If you don't want to drink it, then finish the rest. We're only here for a little over a week. Try to stay healthy so we can go sightseeing and visit all our relatives. I know. I don't want to be like this either. Why do you seem so annoyed with me?" "I'm not annoyed. Let's not talk about it anymore. I'm also a bit tired with Jenny's situation. I don't know what to do." "What's so difficult about it? I think Jenny is a capable and straightforward person. If she comes back here, I think we should let her stay with us in the city. It'll be easier for her to find a job there. And little Tim will have someone to play with." "Yes, that would be good, but I'm afraid you won't want to live with her." "Why would you think that? I'm perfectly comfortable. We're all family." "That's good then. In a few days, after the court case is over, I'll talk to Jenny again." Their conversation then paused as Ethan sat down to drink tea and discuss work matters with Grandpa Bin, while Lynn took little Tim into the room to talk with her mother-in-law. That day, Lynn was probably tired, as by the time the clock struck past 10 p.m., she was yawning widely. Grandma Deem, seeing this, whispered, "You're sleepy now, child. Go back to your room and rest. Let little Tim sleep here with Grandma and Grandpa. The bed in your room is a bit small. It would be cramped if you and your husband both slept there with him." Lynn immediately shook her head at Grandma Deem's words. "I don't dare to sleep yet." "Why don't you dare? You're already sleepy, child. What's wrong? You've been acting strangely since dinner. Are you hiding something from Mom?" Lynn hesitated. She really wanted to tell Grandma Deem about the strange things she had experienced, but then she thought that if she told Ethan, the two of them would just get annoyed with each other. So she just said, "Oh, it's nothing, Mom. I just wanted to tease my husband a bit." Little Tim is already growing up. You and your husband should consider having another child. If you have a boy, have a girl, so you have both. That's when a family is truly happy." "I know, Mom, but we need to wait until everything stabilizes, and I want to wait until little Tim starts school. If we have another baby now, I'd have to stay home to look after both, and that would be too exhausting." I'm just saying, the decision is up to you too." After a while, when Lynn heard sounds coming from the next room, signaling that Ethan had gone to sleep, she quietly sat up, saying goodnight to Grandma Deem. When she reached the room, she saw Ethan already lying in bed. He seemed a bit surprised to see his wife. "Oh, you're not talking to Mom anymore." "I'm done. I'm a bit tired, so I came back here to rest. How are you feeling? Better?" "I'm fine. I'll probably be fine after a good night's sleep. I also talked to Mom. Tomorrow morning, I'll go to the market with her." "All right then, lie down and rest." "Honey, will you sleep with me here tonight?" "What a strange question. Where else would I sleep if not here? What's wrong with you?" "Well, I just don't want to sleep alone." "Don't worry, lie down now." With Ethan beside her, Lynn felt quite safe and quickly fell into a deep sleep. But then, once again, as dawn approached, she woke up with wide eyes, drenched in sweat. Her eyes darted around, realizing she was still in bed with Ethan beside her. Lynn felt like she wanted to cry out. The reason for this expression was that in her dream, she had once again witnessed that terrifying, bloody young man. After a moment, seeing Ethan still sleeping soundly, Lynn didn't dare to wake him. She gently patted her forehead, trying to stay awake. Just then, footsteps echoed from outside, followed by the sound of a light switch flipping on in the kitchen downstairs. Lynn figured Grandma Deem had woken up to prepare breakfast. Lynn immediately got out of bed. As she walked down to the kitchen, she spoke, "Mom, are you up already?" A little startled, Grandma Deem turned around. "Oh, yes, I'm up." "But it's still early, child. Go back to sleep." "I can't sleep anymore. I want to get up and help Mom." "My goodness, there's nothing to help with. It's getting cold today, the weather report even says rain. I plan to cook a pot of porridge with a little fish. It's quite simple, so there's nothing for you to help with, and if little Tim doesn't like dried fish, he can have cereal and milk." After Grandma Deem finished, she saw her daughter-in-law still standing awkwardly, looking uncomfortable. So Grandma Deem walked over. "What's wrong? Still not feeling well, child?" "I'm fine, Mom." "Don't lie, your face has no life in it. Or are you thinking the food in the countryside isn't good, so you don't want to eat? If so, tell Ethan to take you to the district hospital. I heard the equipment there is state-of-the-art." "No, I'm not sick at all. I just have something on my mind." "What is it that you can't share with Mom? Did you and your husband argue?" "No, it's not that. It's just that I don't know how to tell you." "Oh, my dear, whatever it is, just tell me. Hurry up, child. Looking at your face, I can't rest easy." Urged by Grandma Deem, Lynn looked around, then whispered her story. She thought Grandma Deem wouldn't believe her or would share her son's skepticism. But no, Grandma Deem was utterly shocked. "My goodness, you were planning to hide this, and Ethan is so careless." "But Mom, I'm so scared. I know it might just be a dream, but it feels so real." "A dream? What dream? Once could be a dream, but now twice. There's no such coincidence. I think it's because you share some kind of affinity or fate with the accident victim, so his spirit is following you." "What? You mean I'm haunted?" "It's too early to say if you're haunted or not, but we can't let this go on. Let me see. Wait a moment." As she spoke, Grandma Deem headed towards Grandpa Bin's room. A moment later, she returned with an old black-and-white phone in her hand. After scrolling through her contacts for a while, she pressed a button to call someone. "Hello, Auntie Mew, it's me. I know calling at this hour is a bit rude, I apologize. But I'm in a hurry, I can't wait. You mentioned before that you knew a shaman, right?" Yes, yes, yes. Can you give me his address and phone number? I can't explain everything over the phone now. I'll tell you when we meet. We need to deal with this first." Okay. Thank you, thank you." After the call, Grandma Deem turned to her daughter-in-law. "Auntie Mew is sending me the number now. Read the message and call that number for me. I'm terrible with phones. I only use them for calls, never messages." "Yes, Mom." About 5 minutes later, the message arrived. Lynn called the number, and Grandma Deem quickly arranged an appointment for 9 a.m. For the shaman's address, Grandma Deem said she would ask the locals for directions when they got close. That's how it was in the countryside. There were no specific addresses like house numbers and street names. But just by asking around in the vicinity, people would direct you right to the place. After preparing breakfast, Grandma Deem pretended to go to the market with her daughter-in-law, then directed Lynn to Bin Commune, where the shaman, Master Ngoc, recommended by her, lived. The journey wasn't too far, but it was quite winding. After an hour of navigating, the two women finally arrived. The car stopped on a large field, and the atmosphere within seemed quite serene. "I wonder if this is the right address." Lynn looked inside, then called out, "Master Ngoc, are you home, Master Ngoc?" After a moment, a figure appeared from inside. It was a middle-aged man, tall, with a bright face and especially bright eyes. "Hello, madam, are you the one who called me earlier?" "Yes, master, I called you." "Please come in," but Master Ngoc paused when he saw Lynn. Grandma Deem answered honestly, "Master, this is my daughter-in-law, she's not well. Don't come in for now, just stand still and wait for me here." After that, Master Ngoc quickly turned and went inside, leaving Grandma Deem and Lynn with curious and puzzled looks. A moment later, Master Ngoc returned with a small jar in his hand. His next action truly surprised Lynn as he took some water from inside the jar and splashed it directly onto her. The water was dark-colored and had a pungent, earthy smell. "What are you doing?" "I'm dispelling some of the negative energy from your body. Do you know you're carrying so much negative energy that you're like the spirit of a dead person, not a living one?" "What do you mean, master?" "All right, both of you, come inside. We'll talk. There are too many things outside that might overhear and ruin everything." Lynn looked around, then suddenly felt a chill run down her spine. Because besides her, Grandma Deem, and Master Ngoc, there was no one else there. Once they were inside and seated at a beautifully carved wooden table, Master Ngoc asked, "What have you done to offend the spirits that they're haunting you so heavily?" Lynn immediately shook her head. "Master, I haven't done anything." "That's right, Master. My daughter-in-law hasn't done anything wrong." "Lynn, tell Master Ngoc everything, child." Lynn nodded, and as she recounted her entire story, Master Ngoc clicked his tongue. "If that's true, then you're truly unlucky. Cases like yours are not uncommon, because often young people who die, their souls carry too many obsessions, and if they're reckless, they become even more disruptive after death." Lynn, frightened, immediately said, "Master, is there any way to help me now? I'm so scared of what I'm seeing. I can't take it, I'll die." "Calm down. If you truly haven't disturbed or been involved with the deceased, then everything is very simple. Now, give me his name, date of birth, hometown, and current address. I will put it on the altar and make you a protective charm. Just carry this charm with you and try to avoid going out on the road. Within 3 days, the spirit will not be able to get close to you and will even be repelled by the power of the charm." "Is that true, Master? Is it that simple?" "Yes. In general, there's no need for any complicated rituals. Oh, and one more thing. If you want the charm to be effective, it's best to abstain from meat and observe a vegetarian diet. If you do eat meat or fish, make sure it's thoroughly cooked. And avoid killing animals like chickens or ducks in the house." "Yes, Master, I understand." Grandma Deem nodded. Nearly an hour passed. By now, the charm Master Ngoc made had been given to Lynn. She quickly put it in her wallet, feeling a surge of inexplicable relief. Grandma Deem, meanwhile, profusely thanked him and asked, "Master, how much is your fee? I'd like to pay." "Oh, no fee at all. What do you mean?" "What?" "Making this isn't complicated, so there's no fee. Besides, you two traveled a long way to get here. Usually, for these matters, if I have to go to the location myself, after the ritual, I'd only ask for a small sum for travel expenses. Just remember and follow what I've told you, that's enough." "Master is truly too kind. I've heard Auntie Mew talk a lot about you, but this is my first time meeting you." "It's nothing, everything is simple. It's not early anymore, you two should head back. I have to go to a friend's house to perform a ritual for them." "Yes, my daughter-in-law and I will take our leave." On the way back from Master Ngoc's house, Grandma Deem couldn't stop praising the shaman for his virtue and skill. Lynn, however, wasn't entirely convinced because, she thought, she had always believed in spiritual matters, but her own parents had once been swindled out of a large sum of money by a shaman, so she remained somewhat wary of people in this profession. As they got closer to home, Grandma Deem also stopped by the market to buy a few things. So now, seeing his wife and daughter-in-law carrying bags of vegetables, Grandpa Bin wasn't too curious. It wasn't until dinner was served that he paused. "Oh, is there anything else? Why is it just stir-fried vegetables with water spinach and fried tofu with tomato sauce?" Grandma Deem quickly replied. "Oh, it's nothing, dear. We've had a lot of meat and fish recently, so our family decided to go vegetarian for a few days for purification. Besides, the full moon is coming soon, and it's a very important one. Eating vegetarian accumulates good karma." This talk about eating vegetarian, I've never objected to it, and I can eat whatever. But remember, Our grandchildren don't come home every day, so why are we feeding them like this? And little Tim is at an age where he needs to eat a lot to grow. Oh, don't worry, dear. I cooked separate porridge for Timmy. It has minced meat and shrimp. Only the adults in our family are eating vegetarian. Dad, is Mom being stingy or something? No, Dad, this was my idea too. Lynn interjected. Now even Ethan was surprised. What are you saying? Did I hear that right? I remember you never ate vegetarian, even on full moon days. Well, everyone changes, don't they, honey? Besides, Mom said eating vegetarian is good for health. Have you forgotten that I've been feeling bloated and having indigestion? Eating more vegetables helps with digestion. All right, stop talking so much. If Lynn likes it, then let's eat vegetarian. I just worry that when you two come home after a long time, eating like this will be too sad. It's fine, honey, and Mom and Dad, don't worry. Lynn said, then began to serve rice into bowls, offering it to everyone. Grandpa Ben and Ethan, though still puzzled, had no way of knowing the real reason behind it. After dinner, Lynn helped her mother-in-law wash the dishes, then returned to her room. Although she felt somewhat calmer after leaving Master Ngoc's house, now, with the possibility of seeing the young man's spirit again, Lynn felt a bit hesitant. Just then, Grandma Deem came in from behind and whispered, "Go rest now, child. You're scared, aren't you?" "It's all right, you have Master Ngoc's charm. If you're still uneasy, just keep it in your phone case. I see many vendors at the market do that." "Yes, Mom, I know. Where's my husband?" "You must not have heard me clearly. Your father and I went to visit the ancestral graves after dinner. Now, you go rest, I'll watch little Tim." Yes. When she was alone in the room, she was very confused, but on second thought, she decided to try. Coupled with the incomplete sleep she'd had since yesterday, she was quite tired. After almost 30 minutes of rest, Lynn finally slowly drifted into sleep. It was past 3 p.m. Grandma Deem was rocking little Tim, who was sleeping soundly in a hammock, when Lynn emerged from her room at a rather fast pace. A little startled, Grandma Deem asked, "Why are you up, child, and so suddenly?" Lynn shook her head. She sat down, taking her mother-in-law's hand. "No, Mom, I didn't dream. I slept very well. I've been asleep until now." "That's wonderful then. Master Ngoc's charm really works wonders. If this continues, in 3 days, we too will definitely go back there with some fruit and other offerings to thank him. Who knows, we might need his help again later." "Yes, Mom." All that day, she felt renewed with vitality, cheerful and happy. When Ethan saw Lynn enter after washing her face, he asked curiously, "Are you all right? Still feeling uncomfortable or sick?" "I'm fine, honey," Lynn smiled, then sat down by the bed, humming a tune. "Oh, you really are full of life, so since you're so happy, could you indulge me a bit?" "What? We just got here and you're already feeling like that. We didn't even bring any protection." "Oh, it's nothing. If you want, tomorrow I'll go to the market with Mom and stop by the pharmacy." "Oh, my dear, no need for those things. I know how to control myself." "No, control you." "No, I don't want to. I just want to sleep now." Feeling a bit upset, Ethan didn't want to force his wife. So he turned away, took out his phone, and continued watching the football match from the previous night. The next morning, Lynn didn't wake up until past 6 a.m. Her sleep was so deep and peaceful that she even snored lightly, and Ethan filmed her to tease her about it. After getting out of bed, she went outside. Grandma Deem was in the kitchen, preparing breakfast for the whole family. Seeing her daughter-in-law, the first thing she asked was if she had slept well. Lynn replied, expressing her gratitude to her mother-in-law. Without her, she would still be struggling, not knowing how to escape the haunting of that young man's spirit. Time flew by like that. Today was the afternoon of the 3rd day since Lynn received Master Ngoc's charm, meaning only tonight remained before everything would be resolved. As dusk fell, only Ethan and Lynn were at dinner. Grandpa Ben and Grandma Deem had gone to a party at a friend's house. Little Tim kept crying and insisting on going along, so his grandparents had to take him. After dinner, Lynn saw Ethan with a strange expression on his face, coming in from the gate. "Honey, where have you been? Are you back?" "I went to the coffee shop at the beginning of the village, and I also have a gift for you." "What gift? Did you buy some random stuff again?" "Random? No way. This will definitely surprise you. Wait and see." As he spoke, Ethan took a small, rectangular box from his jacket pocket. Lynn immediately recognized it as a box of condoms. She smiled and playfully nudged her husband's side. "You only know how to think about that, don't you?" "I've been waiting for a chance for Mom and Dad to take little Tim out. I called Mom, and she said they won't be back until at least 9 or 10 p.m. After dinner tonight, we're definitely not escaping," Ethan said, half joking. Although he said that because her mood had been quite relaxed since yesterday, Lynn had no reason to refuse her husband. After dinner, Lynn took a set of clothes to shower while Ethan tidied up the bed. But as soon as she entered the bathroom and took off her shirt, Lynn was suddenly enveloped by a chilling sensation. And it didn't stop there. She felt as if someone was standing behind her, watching her. But when she spun around, she saw no one. After finishing her shower, Lynn returned to the room, and as soon as she opened the door, she was greeted by a faint, sweet, alcoholic scent. This scent came from a scented candle placed on the table next to Ethan. "I don't remember bringing any candles when we came here." Ethan nodded and replied, "That's right, we didn't bring any. But have you forgotten that I got some free samples before? I saw there were too many, so I decided to bring some home for Mom and Dad to use. Just now, when you were showering, I checked the cabinet and there were a few left, so I used them. Anyway, why did you take so long to shower?" "Do you know how long I've been waiting?" "What's the rush, honey? And I'm a bit cold. Let me get a jacket." "Why are you wearing a jacket? Are you kidding me?" "No, I'm really cold, honey." "What's there to be cold about? Are you trying to tease me?" Ethan said, taking his wife's hand and pulling her onto the bed. "Now you can't escape me." Wait, I'm really cold, honey. Can you warm me up?" Ethan quickly took off his shirt and buried his head in his wife's chest. Just then, a faint, chilling laugh echoed through the room. "What's that, honey? Are you playing a trick on me?" Ethan looked up. "What? I'm not laughing, dear. I'm busy." "Who's laughing? Are you teasing me?" As Ethan continued to passionately kiss and embrace his wife, the laugh echoed once again. And now Lynn realized that Ethan wasn't laughing. But if not him, then who? She turned her eyes to look around the room and immediately felt her throat tighten, because right there was a figure, a pale, translucent figure, or more accurately, Lynn was witnessing the young man who died in the previous accident. He stood there, staring intensely at her, his mouth curved into a smile. Lynn didn't know what was happening. She screamed at the top of her lungs, startling Ethan. "Lynn, what's wrong?" "Honey, it's... Lynn pointed towards the corner of the room, but unlike his wife, Ethan saw nothing. "I don't see anything. What's wrong with you? Don't tease me anymore." "No, I'm not teasing. I'm scared. Who is it?" "What are you saying? I don't understand." "It's that young man from the accident, honey." Ethan pulled away from his wife, frowning. "Will you stop it? If you don't want to be intimate, just say so. Why make up such a preposterous reason?" "I'm serious, honey. He's standing there, watching me. I'm so scared." Ethan stood up and walked out. Lynn quickly buttoned her shirt and ran after her husband. Out in the living room, she sat down at the table, picked up the remote, and turned on the TV. Ethan sat down next to her. "Honey, you have to believe me. Please believe me." "Believe you? How am I supposed to believe you now? What the hell is wrong with you? I thought that since you didn't mention it for 2 days, it was over." "I thought it was over too, but now he's back. Maybe for the past 2 days he was busy somewhere, and now he has free time to visit me." "No, don't talk in that teasing tone, honey. I'm serious, really." "When are you ever not serious? If you don't believe me, wait until Mom gets back. I'll ask her to tell you. She knows about this. She even took me to see a shaman." "What are you saying? You went to see a shaman? What shaman? Who did Mom take you to see?" "Master Ngoc. He's a famous shaman." "What did you say? Mom took you to see a shaman? Don't I remember you saying you didn't believe in those people? Your family was even swindled by those who peddle superstition." But this time it's different. I can't explain it anymore. I'm so tired, honey. Don't worry, from now on, I'll never ask you for intimacy again." "Don't be angry, honey. I'm telling the truth." Just then, the sound of a motorbike stopping at the gate indicated the familiar arrival of his parents. Lynn, waiting for this, immediately stood up and ran out. "Mom, Dad." Grandma Deems smiled when she saw her daughter-in-law. "Oh, why are my son and daughter-in-law so happy to be home? Ethan looks ecstatic. I bet you two are giving me another grandchild, aren't you?" But the smile on her face quickly faded as she truly noticed the panic on her daughter-in-law's face. Lynn, trembling, said, "Mom, he's here again." "Who? That boy is here again. What are you saying? What truth?" He's here now. Where?" "Right here in our bedroom, Mom." "But what about Master Ngoc's charm? Do you still have it with you?" Grandpa Bin asked then. "What are you two talking about? What charm? Who is he?" "Honey, this is serious. You go park the motorbike inside, I'll tell you." After everyone was in the living room, Grandma Deem and her daughter-in-law recounted the story. Ethan didn't believe a word, while Grandpa Bin reacted with fierce criticism. "My goodness, how many times have I told you to stay away from superstitious people? They'll swindle you." "No, they won't swindle us, dear. Master Ngoc is doing good deeds, he doesn't take money. Besides, this happened to our daughter-in-law, Lynn. It's not some stranger on the street you can just disbelieve." Lynn nodded. "That's right, Dad. Ethan, I swear if I'm lying, may I die. I'm truly scared. The past 2 days, I thought everything was resolved, but now..." Realizing his wife was losing her composure, Ethan also tried to calm her down. "All right, calm down, Lynn. If both Mom and Lynn are saying this, then I have an idea. Mom, call Master Ngoc again and ask why, but he said that if you two came, he would absolutely refuse. So force him to come here so Dad and I can see what kind of tricks he's playing." "My goodness, this boy, always trying to challenge Master Ngoc. He's a truly skilled shaman. Now, what do? I don't know." "He's right, Mom. Let's decide that way, and hurry up." Grandma Deem sighed, helpless, but it was true that she had no other choice. After making the call, everything was simpler than she thought. Master Ngoc was also surprised when he heard the story because he had great faith in the power of his charms. After the call ended, Grandma Deem immediately received a question from her husband. What did he say? He said he would arrange to come right away. "Oh, it's almost 10 p.m. now, we're bothering him too much." Lynn, who had been sitting listlessly on the chair, heard the sound of a motorbike stopping outside when the clock struck 11. Following that was a voice calling out, "Is anyone home? It's Master Ngoc." Grandma Deem immediately stood up. "Yes, I'm here, wait a moment." But Ethan was even faster. "Mom, stay put, I'll open it." Ethan held the bunch of keys as he reached the door, turning the lock. "Oh, Master Ngoc, right at the gate. Are you Lynn's husband?" "Yes, that's right. Please come in, Master." Master Ngoc stepped into the courtyard, carrying a bag. He searched through it for a while, then took out a small charm and 3 incense sticks. "Do you have a lighter? Lend it to me to light these incense sticks." "What are you lighting incense for?" "I can't explain it now, you wouldn't understand." Ethan hesitated for a moment, then reached into his pocket for a lighter and lit the 3 incense sticks. Master Ngoc then used them to pierce the charm and planted it directly beneath a pillar. "All right, let's go inside now." When they both entered, Grandma Deem and Lynn immediately stood up. "Master Ngoc, you're here. Everyone calm down and tell Master everything." Lynn nodded, recounting her story, her hands and feet trembling, clearly showing the fear on her face. Master Ngoc listened, then frowned. "Do you still have the charm? Let me see." "Here, Master." Lynn opened her phone case and took out the charm, but Master Ngoc immediately frowned. "This charm has been broken." "What? Broken by what?" "Look closely. Does the charm now look the same as when I gave it to you?" Lynn opened the charm, and indeed, she saw that its color was no longer deep yellow as before. The symbols and writing on it had also partially faded, no longer clear. Grandma Deem then asked, "Master, does this mean the spirit of that boy has broken this charm?" "Oh, that's impossible." Master Ngoc shook his head. "If what everyone says is true, he only just died, how could he have the strength to break my charm? Let me tell you, this charm, I invoked divine power for it. It's not an ordinary charm that ghosts can break whenever they want. Often, even powerful demons in this realm, after countless battles, might not be able to break it. I suspect the spirit received help from some other force. Only after that force helped break the charm could he return." "Why is it so serious?" "Ah, and one more thing. Wait for me a moment, I'll go outside and check something." With that, Master Ngoc stood up and walked towards the gate. A moment later, he returned with the 3 incense sticks and the charm in his hand. "Before coming in, I performed a quick test. Normally, other houses always have a guardian deity and earth god residing there, and a gate god too. These deities prevent evil spirits and restless souls from bothering the residents inside. But based on the condition of these incense sticks, only the central one is still burning. The charm has also changed color, so I can conclude that the guardian deity and earth god are no longer residing in your home. I wonder if the worship of these deities has been neglected by everyone. At this question, Grandma Deem looked at her husband, then replied, Master, we haven't paid much attention before, but generally, we still worship normally. Every 1st and 15th of the lunar month, Ethan buys sticky rice cakes and roasted pork to offer to the earth god's altar, and for Tet and other big festivals, there's always incense. Where's the altar? Let me see. It's right over here. And when he looked at the altar, Master Ngoc frowned once more. Your house has an altar, but no one resides here. I told you, for some reason, the guardian deity and earth god have left this land. But Master, I don't know, I haven't done anything. Of course, you are, after all, just a mortal. How could you drive away those deities? Only unclean things can do that. And not just unclean, that thing also has immense power, a kind of evil spirit. Did your family have any spiritual incidents before? Have you ever invited shamans or mediums to perform rituals or ceremonies, for example? Master, no, we haven't. Before Grandma Deem could finish her sentence, Grandpa Bin interjected, Master, we don't perform any rituals. Our family has never believed in performing ceremonies or exorcising evil. That's right, Master. My husband is a retired teacher, and my wife is an official in the Village Women's Union. We were taught from a young age not to believe in superstitions, so how could we? Is this land bought by everyone, or is it land passed down from your ancestors? This land is our ancestral land, passed down from my grandparents. Then that's strange. Could it be that this dark entity comes from within your own family? What are you saying? Grandpa Bin seemed very displeased. He stood up. He had tried his best to listen until now, but he couldn't take it anymore. You said the deities left our house, and now you're saying my family is haunted by evil spirits. You want to spread fear and then extort money? I'm not new to these tricks. Get out before I call the police. Let me tell you, I have strong connections with the police. If I press charges, you might even be jailed for spreading superstition. Honey, calm down. Grandma Deem tried to appease her husband. Master Ngoc, is what you're saying true? I'm so confused. It's true, why would I lie? Besides, from the beginning, I haven't mentioned any money. I just wanted to find the root of the problem and help your family. But now, if everyone reacts like this, I can't do anything. I'll take my leave. Please don't be angry. I'm not angry, it's just that everyone here doesn't need your help anymore, so I have no reason to stay. Thank you for trusting me and calling me here. And Lynn, for now, try to stay calm and see if you still experience anything. I think it might be because you're too scared. After a few more exchanges, Master Ngoc turned to leave. After the other person had left, Grandma Deem whispered, That man, he's so rude. After all, he came all this way in the middle of the night, yet my husband. What? Am I not right? You women are different, aren't you? It's easy for people to manipulate you. And Lynn, if you're so scared here, then tomorrow, Ethan should take you and the kids back to the city. When your mind is stable, then come back. I don't want to force you to stay here and cause more trouble. Ethan sighed. Yes, Dad, I know. I'll talk to my husband. Lynn, go to your room. I know. When the two of them were in the bedroom, Ethan pointed to the closet. Pack up your things. Are you angry with me, honey? I'm not angry. I just don't want the atmosphere in our family to remain so tense. It's been a few days since we came here, and there hasn't been a single truly peaceful day. Let's go back to the city. And you have some work to take care of, too. Hearing her husband, Lynn could only sigh. She didn't want to leave now. But on second thought, this was probably the best way. That night, Lynn lay in bed. Beside her were Ethan and little Tim. Her husband and son had been asleep for a while. Only Lynn couldn't close her eyes because she was afraid that if she fell asleep, she would see unpleasant things again. And then, after lying there for a while longer, she vaguely heard footsteps outside, and there was light coming from the living room. Lynn frowned, mumbling, Oh, Mom is still awake at this hour. Thinking of this, she sat up and walked out, intending to sit and talk with her mother-in-law until morning, because there was no way she could sleep. So Lynn sat up, and as the bedroom door slowly opened, she saw two people in the living room, Grandma Deem and Grandpa Bin. Both of them were busy lighting incense, then stood before the large altar in the house, mumbling prayers. After planting the incense, Grandma Deem turned to her husband. Honey, I think Master Ngoc's words tonight weren't entirely groundless. This is something you and I have never told Ethan so. No, that's wrong. This happened so long ago. Surely she has already found peace and reincarnated. Besides, the way that man said our house has 3 evil spirits, I already disliked him. What kind of nonsense is that? They only know how to take advantage of gullible families to swindle money. And tomorrow, Ethan and Lynn are going back to the city. So it's all over. We've never had anything like this happen here before. No, you're wrong. Mom and Dad, what are you hiding from me? Just then, a voice rang out. It was Ethan's. Lynn jumped because Ethan had just overheard Grandpa Bin and Grandma Deem's conversation. From inside the room, Ethan walked straight out, followed by Lynn. Seeing their son and daughter-in-law, Grandma Deem was very flustered. She stammered, "What are you hiding, boy? There's nothing for your father and I to hide." No, I heard you clearly. Mom and Dad, answer me. Is that not true? No, it's not true. What do you mean, it's not true? Are you saying Mom and Dad are lying to me? Then that means I'm not a child of this family. All right then, tomorrow morning, when Lynn and I go back to the city, we'll never return here again. Ethan, calm down now. If you act like this, will Mom and Dad tell you? Grandpa Bin sighed. All right, since you want to hear it, your mother and I will tell you. We didn't want to hide it anymore. After all 4 of them sat down, Grandpa Bin spoke gravely. Actually, your mother and I had a total of 3 children, not just you and Jenny. There was another one. Another one? Yes, that was Flora, Jenny's younger sister, but your older sister. When Jenny was 2 years old, your mother became pregnant with Flora. At that time, this area didn't have electricity or running water like it does now. All daily activities, including bathing, were done at the well behind the house. That well was dug by your grandfather to provide basic water for the household. It was quite rudimentary. The well opening was less than a meter square from the ground. I remember that day, I was preparing lesson plans in the bedroom. Jenny was at kindergarten and hadn't come home yet, and your mother was bathing Flora. The little girl was 3 years old at the time, very active and playful. Your mother used to bathe her by having her sit in a large basin and pouring water over her. While she was bathing, a neighbor came over with a basket of sweet potatoes. Back then, anything given was precious. So your mother was careless and left Flora in the basin to run out. But a moment later, when she returned, Flora was nowhere to be found. At first, your mother and I thought she had wandered off somewhere. But the more we searched, the more we couldn't find her. We grew suspicious and ran to check the well. I asked some young men in the village to lower a rope and search. The result was that almost an hour later, they found Flora. She was at the bottom of the well and had not survived because the child was too small. So, according to village custom, it was a simple funeral, no grave was dug, and she was cremated and taken to the pagoda to help her soul find peace. Even the altar in the house had to be moved to the pagoda. After Flora's death, I felt so sorry for your mother because she blamed herself, so she didn't want to talk about it. Even Jenny, I warned her carefully. That's why she didn't tell you. And even I felt there was nothing pleasant about this story to bring it up again. I hoped everything would fade into the past. But no, just a few weeks after Flora's death, strange phenomena began to appear in the house. At first, it was just your mother dreaming of Flora appearing. She told me, but I didn't believe her. Then even I saw her, and not in a dream. I was bathing at the well, and she was sitting perched on the edge. After that, your mother and I went to the pagoda to ask the monks to perform a prayer for her soul. But things didn't stop there. After the ceremony, even more strange things happened. And now, it wasn't just people in the house, but neighbors all around were being bothered. Some even woke up early to go to the market and were teased by the little girl, asking them to buy things for her. The rumors began to spread like that. Despite the events, people like me, who are educators, still remained skeptical of superstition. But listening to your mother, I also went and invited a shaman. When he came and took a look, he said that Flora's soul, having died so young, couldn't find peace. And she didn't accept her death, so she lingered. If this continued, in the long run, Flora might even drag Jenny to her death. When your mother and I heard this, your mother was terrified. She literally emptied all our savings and took it to the shaman to perform a ritual. After 7 days and 7 nights, the ritual was completed, and Flora's soul was taken by the shaman to his place to embark on a path of spiritual practice. And since then, no more strange things have happened. Ethan was completely bewildered by what he had just heard. He turned to Grandma Deem. "Mom, is this true?" Grandma Deem wept. tears streaming down her cheeks, which had been there for who knows how long. It's all true. I've buried this story deep in my heart for so many years. It's also because of my carelessness that Flora. Grandma Deem burst into tears again. See, it's not that I wanted to hide it from you. It's because I didn't want to talk about it and bring back the pain. I don't blame her. She only blames herself and your father. I understand. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. So Flora has found peace now, right, Dad? Yes, that's what he said, but I'm not a god. How would I know? That's why when Master Ngoc said this house had ghosts and spirits, I was afraid your mother would hear it and get sad again. Indeed, that's true. Since then, she hasn't been able to sleep. She just keeps turning and turning, telling me to go out here with her to burn incense. In the living room, Lynn also noticed her father-in-law's earlier harshness. Mom, please don't be sad anymore. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought this up. It's nothing, child. You were sad, so you didn't know. Anyway, it's not early anymore. You and your husband go back to your room and rest. Are you planning to go back to the city tomorrow? Mom, I think so, because I want to take Lynn back there so she can stabilize her mind. All right then, you two go back up there. When you're truly comfortable and can arrange more time, then come back. Yes, Mom and Dad, please also rest. We'll excuse ourselves to our room. Ethan then stood up and pulled his wife away. Grandpa Bin and Grandma Deem still sat there, looking at the altar, where the incense sticks were still smoldering. Back in the room, Lynn whispered, I can't believe it, honey. What do you think? What do I think? I'm truly surprised. How could I have imagined I had an older sister? And now I remember, every year in the 8th lunar month, Mom and Dad always prepare a meal to offer. I asked who it was for, but no one ever answered or let me know. And I even used to tease you about it. Yes, you did. You should sleep, honey. Ethan quickly lay down, and then in his dream, he vaguely saw himself in the house. The scene was as if he had returned many years ago when Ethan was still a child. He didn't know what he was doing when he heard a voice calling in his ear. Ethan, Ethan! He looked towards the voice. Ethan realized there was a small child sitting precariously on the edge of the well. Looking at the child's face, it resembled Jenny's face, his older sister. Before he could do anything, the voice called out again. Ethan, is that your nephew calling you? What nephew? You rude boy, I'm your sister. Ethan was completely startled and stammered. No, sister, I am Flora. Now I've come back to reclaim what's mine. Ethan, Ethan! The scene suddenly changed. The little child's skin turned pale, her eyes bulged, and from within them spewed forth endless resentment. It was probably the first time in his life Ethan had witnessed such a terrifying sight. He wanted to turn and run, but his whole body was paralyzed. As he stood there, not knowing what to do, another voice echoed, accompanied by the sensation of a hand touching his shoulder. Ethan suddenly opened his eyes. Don't come here, don't come here. What's wrong with you, boy? Ethan was now fully awake as he heard Grandma Deem calling him. Mom, Mom, what are you doing lying there, sleeping as if you're being sleep paralyzed? I'm fine. I just had a nightmare, Mom. Do you know what time it is? Get up now. It's 8 a.m., time for breakfast, and then we have to go back to the city. Lynn has been up for a while now. Yes, Mom, I know. Ethan sat up, patting his forehead. A moment later, after getting out of the bathroom, he saw Lynn sitting and eating a bowl of fish noodles. The dish was probably prepared by Grandma Deem for the whole family. But what caught Ethan's attention was how much Lynn was eating. His wife ate so much, and so quickly, unlike her usual gentle self. Now she wasn't even using a spoon, holding the bowl of noodles with one hand and chopsticks with the other, piling food onto her plate. Lynn, eat slowly, he warned. Lynn seemed not to care about her husband. After finishing one bowl, she burped a few times and then declared, Mom, can I have another bowl? Now, it wasn't just Ethan who was surprised. Grandma Deem was too. You want more? Yes, when else will I have a chance? I should eat while I can. And you, honey, eat quickly, it's getting late. This child. All right, Mom will get you another bowl, okay? But just a bit, in case you get nauseous again. It's fine, Mom. Just give me a full bowl. I'm so hungry. Sometimes I even eat a third bowl, who knows? Everyone thought this was just a joke from their daughter-in-law. But no, Lynn ended up eating a total of 4 bowls of noodles, a number that seemed impossible for someone with her slender physique. Besides, Lynn was behaving very strangely. She was sitting and spitting indiscriminately, and she kept tapping her foot as if someone else was in Lynn's body. When the clock struck 9 a.m., Ethan picked up little Tim, holding his hand and carrying his briefcase. He turned to his wife, urging, "Lynn, can you get the duffel bag for the car?" Lynn said nothing. She just stood up, pulled the bag, picked it up onto her shoulder with one hand, and then walked straight outside. Clearly, in all the years they had been married until now, Ethan had never seen his wife behave so rudely. She didn't even turn around to say goodbye to Grandma Deem. At this time, Grandpa Bin was busy with work and had left early. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have been happy with his daughter-in-law either. After packing their belongings, Ethan's car drove away, taking his wife from the house. Grandma Deem followed them all the way to the gate, but she had no idea that just over an hour later, that very car would pull up in front of her house once again. From inside the car, Ethan frantically ran out. "Mom, Mom, what's happening? Mom, what's wrong with my wife?" "What's wrong with Lynn?" Ethan recounted what happened. Earlier, as the car passed the accident scene, Lynn suddenly called out from the back, "Honey, stop for a moment, okay? Let me see if they've cleaned up the scene properly." "Why do you suddenly want to stop here? Aren't you scared?" "Scared of what? I live here, what's there to be scared of?" This statement made Ethan look into the rearview mirror. The reflection showed Lynn sitting in the back seat, but her eyes were entirely black. She wore a grotesque smile. Besides, she let little Tim lie haphazardly next to her without an ounce of concern, and she sat with her legs crossed like a man. Immediately, Ethan snapped, "Stop joking, it's not funny." "Who said I was joking? The person with you now is me." From Lynn's throat, a voice with a deep, hoarse timbre echoed. Ethan immediately stopped the car, and just then, Lynn opened the door and rushed out. And the event unfolded so quickly that by the time he composed himself, Lynn was only a few steps away from an oncoming truck, and it seemed like she wanted to ram into it. No, no. Fortunately, the truck driver slammed on the brakes. Ethan rushed out of the car, shouting. In addition to him, some curious onlookers on both sides of the road started to gather. Lynn tried to rush towards another car, but this time, Ethan managed to reach his wife with the help of those nearby, so they held her back. Let me go, let me go." This is not good, Ethan thought. He then quickly told everyone, "Tie Lynn up with ropes and tell the person behind us to drive the car home." Returning to the present after hearing his son's story, Grandma Deem's hands and feet trembled. From outside the car, people brought Lynn in, still tied up. She was struggling violently. Let me go, it's mine." Grandma Deem clasped her hands together. "Namo Amitabha Buddha, please don't harm my daughter-in-law." "Mom, what do we do now?" "What do we do? Quickly call Master Ngoc." Once again, Master Ngoc was invited, but this time he was a bit hesitant. Only after much pleading did he finally agree. As soon as Master Ngoc arrived and saw Lynn, he frowned. "My goodness, she's possessed? It's very serious, Master. Is there any way to save her?" "Wait, let me see." Master Ngoc approached Lynn, as if realizing something, then looked up at her eyes, which were entirely black. "What are you doing here, you fake shaman?" "Oh, you wretched, dead spirit like you, yet you speak so loudly, and now you've even possessed this girl's body. Tell me the truth, what is backing you up? If you don't tell me, don't blame me." "What can you do to me? Let's see how capable you are." As if provoked, Master Ngoc took out his ritual tools from his bag. At first, his incantations made Lynn, or rather the spirit possessing her, feel discomfort. But then, just as he thought he had the upper hand, Lynn suddenly laughed maniacally, and Master Ngoc was thrown backward by an invisible force. The old man fell to the ground, coughing up blood. Grandma Deem, seeing this, was terrified. "Master, what's happening?" "Oh, this isn't good. The evil spirit backing her is very powerful. What are you, exactly?" "Didn't you guess last time?" "Yes, I am a demon. I am in this house, and I was the one who drove away the guardian deity and earth god." "My goodness, Flora, could it be? Could it be Flora?" "Yes." Just then a strong gust of wind and thunder erupted, as if in the middle of a storm. Lynn then laughed again, but her voice was no longer hoarse. It was chilling, like the laughter of a child. "What's wrong? Are you afraid of me, Mom? I'm your daughter, Mom," Grandma Deem stammered. "Flora, Mom knows she made a mistake. It's all Mom's fault. But please don't torment us anymore. For years, Mom has never forgotten the pain of losing you. Mom is truly heartbroken." "I don't blame you, and you didn't kill me. So why haven't I found peace? I don't blame you, Mom, because the one who killed me hasn't paid for their sin." What are you saying? You mean someone killed you? but it was Mom's carelessness. How ridiculous, even now you still don't know. What is Flora saying? Another voice echoed from outside. Grandpa Bin stepped in. Grandma Deem looked at her husband. Why are you back, honey? You said you had work to do. What work? I went to find the old shaman I hired before to seal me away. But I never expected that he had died of illness a few years ago. What? So Flora? Grandpa Bin now walked over and suddenly knelt down, clasping his hands in front of Lynn. Flora, your father is sorry. I know my mistake. What are you saying, Dad? What mistake? At this moment, Grandpa Bin revealed the truth. Flora's death was not an accident. Back then, each family, especially those of teachers and civil servants like him and his wife, was only allowed to have 2 children. When his wife found out she was pregnant with their second child, Grandpa Bin saw that Grandma Deem had many differences from when she was pregnant with their first daughter, so he thought this time she was carrying a son. At that time, ultrasound technology was not yet widely developed, so Grandpa Bin harbored that hope. On the day his wife gave birth, he was extremely disappointed because the second child was still a girl. In the following period, he also faced pressure from relatives and villagers. In the countryside, any man who couldn't have a son to continue the family line or attend ceremonies would have to sit at the lowest table. So gradually, he developed the idea of getting rid of his second child. And on that fateful day, he saw Grandma Deem talking to a neighbor, leaving little Flora alone by the well. At that moment, he didn't know what he was thinking, but he made a cruel decision. He picked up his daughter from the basin and threw her down the well. The well was quite deep, and there was no one nearby, so this act remained completely secret. After that, Grandpa Bin went back into the house, sat at his desk, and pretended as if nothing had happened. After Flora died, her spirit looked towards him, and Grandpa Bin hired a shaman to seal her right there in the well, not to guide her soul to spiritual practice at all. Because there was now clean running water supplied by the state, he even had the well filled with cement. After hearing her husband's confession, Grandma Deem trembled all over. She rushed over and grabbed her husband's collar. Are you telling the truth? Why did you do that, honey? Why did you do that to my daughter? I'm sorry, my child. It's too late. Let me tell you all, for decades I was imprisoned and starved and frozen at the bottom of that well. I hate you all so much. But the heavens have eyes. The spirit that followed Lynn here resonated with and broke through the seal that imprisoned me. When that spirit came, I talked and negotiated with it. If it agreed to use its sole power to destroy the seal, I would help it possess Lynn's body. All of you will pay. I will be here to reclaim what I have lost. Flora, my child. Grandma Deem also knelt down next to her husband. Child, I beg you, if you want revenge, torture these 2 fake bodies. Ethan and Lynn, they haven't done anything wrong. Ethan is your brother and Lynn is his wife. Child, please, just a gentle punishment, okay? No gentle punishment at all. I hate you all. I must have my revenge. I must. As Lynn screamed, Master Ngoc suddenly appeared from behind, approached her, and used a dark, murky liquid, pinching her mouth shut and pouring it directly into her. Everyone, quickly give me a hand. I need to make her drink this sacred water. At this moment, Ethan, Grandpa Bin, and Grandma Deem seemed to wake up, and everyone present also helped. 5 or 6 people it was, yet they struggled to restrain Lynn on the chair. After Lynn drank all the water, Master Ngoc chanted another incantation. He took a charm and pressed it onto Lynn's forehead and the back of her neck. Nearly an hour passed. Finally, Lynn collapsed, vomiting profusely. She vomited a thick, foul-smelling, slimy substance. After vomiting, Lynn also passed out. Master, what happened? Currently, both the spirit of your daughter and the spirit of that young man have been exorcised from Lynn's body. I will perform an additional ritual to prevent them from harming her again. The spirit of that young man, I will drive him away. But as for Flora, Master, please be direct, because this is a private family matter, so I will not interfere. I only offered assistance, but it is up to the 2 of you. After performing an additional ritual, Lynn was taken back to her room to rest. As for Grandpa Bin, under Master Ngoc's guidance, he later broke through the cement layer that sealed the well, then knelt down and repented. He continued to kneel until dusk when, suddenly, a bolt of lightning struck from the sky. Although the lightning did not strike Grandpa Bin directly, perhaps due to the immense pressure, he fainted completely. When he was rescued and woke up, he was dazed and disoriented, like a lost soul, completely forgetting his name, age, and family. In the following days, Grandpa Bin did not improve. On the contrary, he became increasingly weak and frail. The family took him for examinations, but no illness was found. Late at night, Grandma Deem would wait for her husband to wander out to the well and cry until morning before returning. After more than a year of suffering, Grandpa Bin could no longer endure and passed away. But before his death, he showed no sign of pain or fatigue, as if he were being released. As for Flora, she was now truly persuaded by Master Ngoc and taken away to find peace. Therefore, Grandma Deem continued to maintain a separate altar for her daughter, regularly offering incense and prayers, hoping to somehow atone for her husband's past wrongdoings.